but it can kind of go back and forth between the subs and the AR players. So here we are, Sydney Dingoes, Minnesota Floppr. We're starting off here. Brody, map number one.
Yeah, and a quick reminder for everybody is everything, it's Call of Duty, everything is broken. So we don't have a hill timer. We don't have a lot of things here. The kill feed's going to be messed up here with some of these names as well. So do apologize if we get anything wrong tonight. But we will be able to guarantee that there's less than 60 and greater than 10 seconds on any hard point at any time. So excited to be able to share that for you. Minnesota Floppr looks like they're off to a great start here, able to control the middle of the map here. They were in control for just a second there, but inside of Sydney Dingoes looks like they kind of had a bit of a battle there mid-map as we start to get a little bit of a rotation towards P2 here from the side of Minnesota Floppr.
Yeah, Minnesota Floppr is securing a good chunk of this P1 hill time so far. We see team nade and a nade kill coming down from the side of the Floppr, but it's allowing Dingoes to kind of play around this ammo side. P2 spawns are always, intriguing to see if a team prefers that back spawns towards tower, or if they prefer to play through the front side of the hill. But from the side of Floppr, you're going to be in this hill first, and it's not easy to hold, but if you're winning your gunfights, it can be relatively easy to hold, but they're going to break right in. City Dingoes are. There's one player left outer tower. James is going to find that player, and he's looking to kind of get active in the spawn. Soda's going to get cleaned up as well. James is going to get some good timing here on the back, able to pick off one, and that's going to allow Sydney to start getting some hill time here to eat up this lead that Floppr has.
Yeah, James in that spawn, he's going to be influencing the spawns towards P3 a little bit. We do see a couple members of Minnesota Flop out there, so maybe a bad thing on the side of the Sydney Dingoes is we're going to be getting some interesting parallels here kind of as this hill comes to a close. Minnesota Floppr are spawning out here, so if they can't win these gunfights on hill, they're going to have a long way to go towards new. Only a few seconds left here on old. Last battle coming in. Speedy's able to pick up that big kill. All the side of Sydney, they are spawning towards that P3. We do see one player get picked up towards rope, but so far Sydney in control of the hill. They're only down by 9 so far, so this is where we start to see teams start picking up points, really able to control some hills here. But side of Minnesota Floppr, if you're not able to get out of this side of the map on this spawn, it's going to be rough to try to get to hill. So far the battles are going down in hill in favor of the side of Minnesota, so they're doing a good job keeping this mixy so far.
Yeah, doing a good job keeping this P3 mixy so far. James is going to be the player that's left close for the Sydney Dingoes. He's actually looking to potentially push out some spawns. He's not going to find anybody, so he's going to end up wrapping back. This is going to be an interesting P3 here. Sydney Dingoes has been able to climb out of that deficit. Floppr is going to be in this hill now first, but James is going to be able to slide in, and he's looking for one. Not going to get the second, but the trades are there from Cookie. Now we're going to be making our way down towards P4, and Floppr is going to be here first with 3 players. Cookie's got quite the challenge here on his hand. He's got players looking at him from all angles. He's going to get some shots taken at him. He's going to get taken out, and that's going to pretty much secure this rotation early to the side of Floppr. And now it's going to be all about the gunfight wins. Fiend able to get a nice 2-piece there. Speedy looking to fly in to get that trade. Not able to get it yet, but the trade is going to come through. Going to get taken out in the back. So Floppr are going to maintain control of this hill so far here from the first break. But Sydney Dingoes, you have plenty of time to break into this hill, but P4 can be a very difficult one to break. So we're going to see what maybe routes or whether potentially hit from it. It looks like big door.
Yeah, they start off with a great 2-piece there. James able to come in. Last one-on-one coming down here and fight. Cookie able to pick up that last big kill. Going to secure probably the rest of this time for the side of Sydney Dingoes here. As I say that, Nasty is going to be getting in the hill. Fiend's going to be able to pick up this last kill. Rest of this time is going to go towards the side of Sydney Dingoes. There's not much left here as we're going to start seeing a rotation towards this P1 side. Sydney Dingoes are having that P2 side spawn. We'll see if they decide to flip that or just keep that towards that P1. Or kind of see what Minnesota decide to do here. They have a little bit more top presence as they have some more players alive here. Sydney are starting to get that rotation, though. Speedy's just trying to make himself annoying here on this top rope side. Able to pick up a big 2-piece there. James able to pick up one as well. So it's going to be 3 dead from the side of Minnesota. They're going to have to regain here and kind of cooperate as a team, see if they can break towards this P1 as the side of Sydney Dingoes are spread out pretty forward in their base as well.
Yeah, Sydney has a lot of positioning here on the map. We're going to see a 4 dead come down, and that's going to allow Sydney to continue this presence pushed up, keeping these players spawned back in the P3 side is going to be big for them to be able to eat a huge chunk of this P1 time here. And we're kind of seeing a reversal. Floppr got a good chunk of time on P1 and P2 last time, whereas Sydney is eating up this P1 hill time. And P1 on protocol, if you're holds are not, pretty spread like we kind of saw Sydney, and you're winning a lot of 1v1 gunfights, it can be very back and forth, just trades coming down. But ultimately, Sydney's able to have some really nice map positioning there and be able to secure a big chunk of time on P1. But we're making our way over towards P2 now. Sydney is still going to have the spawns towards back tower. They're going to be here in the hill first, but Minnesota Floppr is close to start contesting, and we're just going to see kind of this back and forth kill feed come down for 2 kills from each team. Cookie is playing here close on the P2 stairs, able to get one, but gonna get taken out. James is gonna lay down in hill. We're gonna see the Flopper players kind of jump over the top. Nasty's gonna win a nice 2-piece there, and it's gonna allow him to get into this hill and start working the hill time for Flopper.
Yeah, we saw Fiend there trying to take a route towards that rope side. He was going to get cut down, so that's going to continue. The side of Sydney spawning there on the backside. Minnesota that just allows them to pick up some easy time, easy spawn traps towards the side. Fiend making something work through tower here, able to get some shots in that last player, leave him weak, but his teammates are not there to pick up the trade. Everything's pretty spread here towards the side of the middle of the map. Sydney's just looking to get some top map presence here, not looking to really fight this P2 anymore, as they need to get rotations towards new. And this may be a time where we see this grandma side spawn on this P3 really be beneficial for the side of Minnesota, but not for the side of Sydney. We'll kind of see what happens here. Soda's going to get a call out towards top rope. They are going to pick up that player as well. So last player here in Cookie, he's going to be towards that spiral, just kind of waiting for his team to get a break here. Side of Minnesota are sniffing him out. They are going to pick that up as well. So this is going to get pretty dangerous here of the side of Sydney. Down by 30, they're going to have to make something here or get this early P4 rotation, which they lost last time. So we'll kind of see what they can do here. Speedy's looking to make an impact here on hill, able to pick up 2 big kills. Can he stay alive and do anything more?
Yeah, he's looking for that 3rd kill, gonna get some shots down, not gonna be able to take anybody out, but his teammates are here, able to clean it up. He's gonna get another 2-piece from front door. There's gonna be another player close. He's gonna read that challenge. He's gonna take him out as well. Speedy on a 5 spray, just going huge in this P3. So Sydney able to get a decent chunk of time back on the P3, but unfortunately you're coming back to P4 now, and you've got to be able to break. Flopper here are going to be rotated first. They've got players set up in hill, in elevator. They've got noisy, I don't know names anymore. Watching over the top, but we're going to see some big kills come down. Speedy's going to be here on the elevator side. They're going to clear that out. That's going to allow City to get into this hill. There's going to be 1 player left close to elevator, but he's going to get taken out as well. So now Flopper are going to be on the retaking side. A great break by the Sydney Dingoes.
And that's exactly what they needed to keep this game close here. This is going to still be a pretty mixy P4 here. They are able to pick up some big crucial kills. Last player is going to be Noisities here towards this spiral side. It looks like he's just trying to wait for his team here, as we see Fiend taking an aggressive route towards Boat to try to cut off some players here. But Sydney Dingoes are just playing spread, trying to cover all sides so that the side of Minnesota can't get a pinch, like a full team pinch there on that P4, which is typically how you're going to be successful. We do see kind of this last wave get picked up here as we start to see some rotations happen towards P1. Fiend already here for the side of Sydney, looking to get some map presence. They do know which side those players are spawning on now due to that player spawning up towards that back helicopter side, but Fiend is unfortunately going to fall. James there for the trade, as he's going to get some info on people towards P1. But so far, Sydney Dingo is able to make a big swing there on that P4, holding down the majority of that time.
Yeah, that P4 was big for the side of the Dingoes to be able to break in and secure a big chunk of time. Now they have a 20-point lead here on the protocol hardpoint. They're going to be in P1 as well. We see Speedy pushing up as well, able to get another nice 2-piece, getting those players off spawn from that tower side. We are going to see a player go towards top rope, and we're going to see Fiend get some shots in the back, but Sydney is still just able to kind of soak this hill time just a little bit. There's only 1 player left here in time, 1 player watching over him, so Flopper is going to be able to break in and secure this hill time for the remaining time that we do have left, and they're looking to get active in Grandma's. J-Ski is able to win a big gunfight there, and he may get taken out here. He does get taken out by Fiend on bottom Grandma's, so now we're going to start to see sort of some of the hectic things that can come down here towards P2. The Dingoes are going to be here first. Soda's left on the hill in P1, looking to potentially pick off some of these players. There's 1 more mid gun. Shots are going down there. The player bottom Grandma's going to chow that with the pistol. Not going to get taken down. So Sydney Dingo's going to have a little bit of control of this map here so far, and they're going to be in this hill time looking to push their advantage closer to winning this map number 1.
Yeah, we have a pinch developing here from the side of Minnesota Floppr. Able to pick up one. Soda not able to pick up that other player. Speedy with a great two-piece. Once again, I feel like he's the 2- and 3-piece machine. Jayski able to pick up one there towards that top rope side, just keeping some presence there. Fiend looking for that player as he kind of pops out eventually. But we're going to have to start paying attention to this score line here. Minnesota Floppr looking to probably tie it here on the rest of this time and get that rotation towards P3. But we are looking at a kind of a P3 ending here unless these teams continue to keep it mixy on both sides. But so far, Minnesota Floppr are getting all the kills, but they're still spawning on the wrong side of the map as these last two players are going to spawn out here. So the side of Minnesota have numbers towards new. This could be the time for them to break the game open and get this W.
Yeah, and they get a nice two-piece inside of the hill, so there's only going to be one player left from the Dingoes close. That's going to be Speedy. He does get a free route through the top staircase, so he's looking for these players that are in hill. He's going to get taken out, but his teammates are flying in from the front. Trades are going down. That's going to allow James to get into this hill, but Flopper's still close, so he's going to get shot at, going to get taken down. And like you said, the mixiness here on P3 could be in full effect, so we may see this go down to a P4 with an early rotation, but unfortunately from the side of City Dingoes, you're going to have to fight for a big chunk of this time in order to secure this, and they are. They're going to secure the back spawns as well. James is pushed out here in the middle of the map, just looking to cause some havoc. Not able to get either one of those kills, but it's going to allow some pressure to come off the front here. Final kills coming down. There's one player left up on top, one player left on hill. Fiend is going to go for the Chow, going to take that player out as well. But now Soda's in hill, but Fiend's going to pick him up as well on a 5 spree himself. Fiend and Speedy both going on crazy 5 sprees here so far. But Floppr are going to choose to rotate over here first. Jayski's going to get one big kill, but there's going to be 2 players here close from the Sydney Dingoes that are looking to break into this hill.
Yeah, they're spawning towards elevator side, so it's going to be up to Fiend here just to cause a little bit of a distraction. See if we can get a pinch coming in. Absolutely big shots. Speedy able to pick up that kill. Noisy is able to pick up a kill as well. It's going to be Cookie and James here last to defend. They do see Jayski towards open door, not able to win that here. Only a couple seconds until we win. They have one break coming in here from the side of Minnesota Floppr. A player does get across towards backside here. Trades are coming in across the entire map here. We have 5 seconds kind of on both sides for someone to win. Minnesota Floppr here left to go. We do see some players coming down towards elevator, but they're probably not going to make it there in time. Minnesota Floppr able to get that break in and win that map there on P4. Good little hold there. They did get broken, but they were able to pick that up there towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, that P4 was, I mean, easy from the side of Floppr. I think you come in with a 15-point advantage. That initial break comes through from the side of City Dingoes, but being that they had that 20-point lead, it gave them a good chunk of time to kind of get up together, kind of break that hill back initially, and then, with that P4, it's hard, when you're spawning on one side or the
It's
other.
really interesting kind of what you can play here as a team. You see a lot of plays that subs can do kind of towards that bottom side and into grandmas and armor side, and then the ARs are really kind of controlling the main parts and main cutoffs on the maps. So it really just depends here. Speedy is getting aggro already, should have a free kill here on this P2. That is going to be bombed down, and he's going to call that out for his team as well. So it's going to be tough for the side of Sydney or Minnesota Floppr there as he gets shots on Speedy, but not able to pick up that kill. Fiend able to pick up another kill. It's going to be a 2v4 for the side of Minnesota Floppr between Soda and Noise Cities here. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, Soda's going to see one player in the back, but Cookie's going to win that big gunfight. There's going to be a gunfight down here, towers. Noisy is going to get that, but going to get traded out immediately. So Sydney able to get that first blood there and just kind of play their man advantage from there and go. I mean, ultimately, that's a lot of times what it comes down to in protocol. We saw Speedy, I believe it was here, taking a lot of map presence, kind of getting up towards the spawn of the Minnesota Floppr. Soda did the same thing, kind of on the opposite side. Just Speedy was able to get the players in front of him to get the kills, versus Soda was just kind of out in the water, kind of trying to find somebody to make a play. His teammates were dying around him. So, playing your man advantage and getting that first blood is always going to be key here on protocol, and especially more than anything, your mid-round adjustments, being able to switch up your play if you're hitting elevator fast to kind of rotate back out towards the B site. If you get control, jumping in early, kind of like we're going to see here from the side of Sydney, able to clear off both players from the A site, and immediately bomb's going to get planted down here, and Nasty and Noiseties is going to be here in a 2v4 now, looking to retake this A site, which is never an easy scenario.
Yeah, we'll kind of see what happens here. 2v4 on A side is typically not going to happen here. Typically, you got to have a couple players on that offense sell. 25 seconds left here in the round. We'll kind of see what happens here, see if anybody sells. James able to pick up a big kill towards elevator here. Noisy's last left alive. He's going to be in a rough situation here. And just a good round from the side of Sydney, able to get that bomb down there and going for the knife kill down elevator. Really not much you can do. So Sydney up 2-0 so far, looking pretty good. Speedy's able to take the routes that he's needed so far in the map. We'll see if the side of Minnesota decide to ever try to play around that, maybe try to cut him off. He seems to be the person who's kind of being the rock in his, the Minnesota Flopper's shoe, not able to keep them comfortable on the map at all. So as long as Speedy can continue to do that, I think it's definitely a W towards the side of Sydney.
Yeah, I mean, Sydney's starting off very positively here so far in these first 2 rounds. I mean, solid defense and a solid offense. That elevator hit can be kind of chaotic sometimes, but we saw the player that was in spiral kind of slide out just a little bit too far and kind of give up the positioning that they had, and then ultimately the rest of the players just kind of swarmed on the player big door. But we're seeing Floppr here with the first blood, following it up with the second. Soda's looking for this immediate trade as well, able to take off that player. So now it's going to be Fiend left here in a 1v2. He's making the quick wrap to elevator side. It looks like nobody's watching this, so he's going to be able to get one for free. The other player's going to slide out and going to win that. So Soda with a big 1v1 there from the side of Floppr to take that round number 3. And I mean, you get some good timing if you're on the side of Fiend, but Soda's going to hop off that bomb and immediately reach out and just win a big gunfight. I mean, I don't know how the Jackal killed that guy because it's a terrible gun. I mean, it just is. We all know it.
It happens. I mean, Soda's going to be confident in his ability there to win a short range gunfight with that gun. I mean, if it's Fiend, I don't know that I would necessarily chow him ever from any distance, but here we are. That's why they're in plat and I am not. So Minnesota Flopper with a good change of pace there, able to just kind of rush that site, get those trades now. So Sydney Dingoes kind of going back to A here. We'll see if they find success like they did. They do have some opposition here on the side of Minnesota. They were towards that spiral side, but they have backed up. Site control in the favor of Sydney Dingoes here, as we see kind of a late plant aggression here, but James is watching that cross.
Yeah, James is watching the cross here. We're going to have a 4v4 retake. Soda's going to slide out from the spiral side, going to get some shots into him. We're going to see James slide out and take that chow as well. Able to get a second one as well. Noisity sliding in from the front, only able to get one, going to get taken out. And City Dingoes are going to bounce right back with a round one of their own. Just a really solid kind of presence. They're kind of feeling the presence, sensing what presence is there. They're going to take the bomb site and just kind of play the post plant after that. We saw players picking up pretty much every single angle. James gets that intel on the player that was the spiral side. He gives up elevator to pretty much chow and guarantee that, and ends up winning another gunfight after the fact. I mean, that's just huge, huge plays from this in the side of search and destroy. If you're always, or if you're consistently getting 2 kills for your 1 life that you have, it leads to a lot of success in your rounds. So good plays from the side of City Dingoes there. Minnesota Floppr kind of choosing to play a little bit of a fan out setup here. James is going to get that first blood, but that is going to allow Floppr to kind of find their presence here in the A site, get that bomb planted. Fiend is on the flank though, able to pick up that 1 player in the back. Now it's going to be a 2v4 scenario. Soda in the backside of bomb, and it looks like J-Ski's looking to take a route here, potentially find something.
Yeah, and the side of Sydney Dingoes there, they really just kind of played that top side, did what they need to. J-Ski putting shots down here. Last player in sight here, diffusing that bomb. That is going to be round towards the side of Sydney Dingoes, just being smart, hopping that bomb with that 3-1 player advantage. But the side of Sydney Dingoes just played, they didn't play sight at all. They let Minnesota take that site, and all they did was try to hit that flank and keep that mid-map presence there. And it seems to be kind of what they've been doing pretty well here. They're just trying to pick a side of the map or pick a part of the map and just get presence. I think that's what a lot of teams fail to do in Search and Destroy. They just try to have a one-dimensional plan on what they're going to do, and the side of Sydney are doing a pretty good job here of making sure they have knowledge of a whole part of a map and having control of that, and it's going to allow their team to go where they need to on those flanks, especially in post-plant situations, as well as just being able to cover each other for trades or kills on early rounds. So when you have that man advantage, you're fine to give up that ace side. If you're coming in on a 3v4 or a 4v3 or a 4v2, there's definitely a lot less pressure on that ace site. It's when you're a man down is when that side is really rough to take. So Sydney Dingo's just ensuring that they're a man up before they take any sort of retake.
Yeah, I mean, playing that kinda slow positioning towards mid and then being able to get those 2 initial kills when the bomb gets planted, it like you said, is just a huge, positive from their side. They're able to kinda play around that and get that, but we're seeing a little bit of a back and forth here so far here in the round number 6. Soda is looking to get active, able to get 1 bottom Gs, and is gonna be able to get out with his life. There's been no real aggression here from Sydney to take this bomb to either site. It looks like potentially they're gonna make their way over through the middle of the map and go towards the B side, I'm thinking here. Yeah, it looks like they're rotating over towards the B site. Both of the Flopper players are gonna be in that A site, so they're potentially looking to find some intel here, make the play knowing the bomb's probably not get planted, but Jayski's gonna run right into Speedy's arms. Soda's gonna get the trade though, gonna get some shots down as well. Bomb did get planted, so we're gonna have 35 seconds left here. Soda looking to get active, looking to potentially just hop this, but he's not gonna see the player in the back sitting there on the heady. Sydney Dingoes gonna be on map point here. I mean, just a solid retake, not feeling the pressure mid after those initial trades kind of come down, just taking that map space, and Speedy's able to do what he's typically done this maps here so far. Find some good timing here, watching the correct angle, gonna find a player running into him, and then clutching up in a 1v1.
I mean, Speedy so far is doing kind of it all for his team, sitting at there at 10-1. Uh, I mean, you allow Speedy to do whatever he wants on the map, you're probably not going to win the map. I mean, that's what we've kind of seen these last 3 weeks watching this team. That Speedy and Fiend are definitely going to enable the team to do kind of whatever they want, whatever they need on the map. And when you can activate Speedy as a sub, and especially in Search and Destroy, it's going to be pretty dangerous here. Minnesota Floppr do have the man advantage so far. They are going to back up, playing towards that grandma side, looking for some aggression for Speedy's sake, but he's just going to back off. Cookie does get some information for a player towards P1, so we'll kind of see what the side of Sydney decide. Uh, what they decide to do here. We do see some spots still coming through P1, so it looks like Minnesota Floppr so far are looking to take it B. Speedy's going to try to get up and aggressive to counter this here. He's going to take some shots down. Unfortunately, not able to pick up a kill. 1v3 on the side of Cookie. They do know where he was at last. And Minnesota Floppr are able to take that up down 5-2 right now, but they are looking to make this comeback.
I don't know how Noiseties is able to get that kill on that fair elevator. He's got a grenade in his hand, just chucks it just in time, and then probably just snaps onto James, pushing through that elevator side. But I know Speedy got a couple shots in, just a big win from Noiseties there to kind of start off that round for the side of Flopper. And, the first blood means everything here, and both these two teams are doing a very good job that when they get that first blood, they're playing patient. They're not getting over aggressive. You think about, you're seeing the flopper side, a player like Speedy here who's getting up and aggressive in your face. If you're able to get that first blood, you're potentially just waiting for him to maybe make that mistake and be able to take that positioning yourself. We're going to see an A hit come down here so far. 2 kills to the side of the flopper. One trade is going to get taken out, but the flopper is going to bounce right back. And that, fast and heavy A hit was met in full force by the side of flopper there. And they're just able to win those initial gunfights. And I think Jayski, watching over from the elevator side, was able to pump in a lot of damage to these players on elevator and allow some of those players to kind of take that positioning. And I believe there was a player that took a flank as well, dropped down behind elevator on them. But really solid round from the side of flopper, potentially looking to make a run.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Sydney a couple times. They've typically favored that A side and typically a 3 or 4 man hit. So I think Minnesota just decided to take a risk on playing some aggression through mid map and towards that elevator side, and paid off there. So Minnesota Flopper going to see if they can do a little bit better here with a 4 hit through elevator of their own. Once again, Sydney Dingoes really not playing anybody towards site, just allowing this to happen and playing towards a post plant attack here. So we'll kind of see if Sydney Dingoes can be successful here. Still have a couple rounds that they can play with, so we'll see who can get the first pick.
Yeah, first pick is definitely going to be huge here. Flopper kind of spreading out all across the board. Player spiral, player elevator, 2 players on the site. Cookie is going to see that player in the spiral side, is going to challenge, going to get taken out, but the trade is going to come through immediately. 2 kills back and forth for both teams. Noiseties is here in the back. Fiend's in close. Speedy's going to fly in and chow, and then he's going to end up getting the 2-piece himself. Himself doesn't even need Fiend to follow up. So Sydney is going to take our map number 2, even up this series 1-1 here on the Protocol Search and Destroy. And I think that was just really great plays. I mean, it's not often that you see a team just completely choose to fight through farther and eat up more time, being that it is a bigger map. So a lot of times, just the team who's winning the majority of trades, so to speak, they're winning 2v4s or 1v3s in terms of life counts. It usually leads to success, and we're seeing City Dingoes start off here fast and furious towards the B side and towards the A side as well. So Fiend is looking to get active here and logs a nice two-piece from that side. JC is going to follow up with a two-piece of his own and clear off the B site. And now we're going to be kind of back to the reset. There's a player Fiend here pushed up in the spawn of the Floppr, but the Floppr have two players pushed up into the Dingo spawn. So now we're going to kind of see this back and forth, just kind of gunfights come through until one of these teams is able to break through and really get some more positioning on the map here.
Yeah, and we see that happen a lot on this map where we see kind of 2v2 trades happening all the time. It's really who can just continue to win those spawn fights and not go players down. We see Sydney eventually electing to go towards this B side through the window and Plat side. Jace able to pick up one, put some shots into another, but not able to pick up anything else. Nasty's kind of there as some backup to put some shots in. Player is on B, stop the clock so far, but he's going to get surrounded pretty quick here. Speedy was top Plat there, unfortunately going to get taken out by a team nade there from Fiend, but Cookie able to pick up another kill. So we're going to get a time clock here for or stop from the side of James there on A. Unfortunately going to jump up there and die. We got 15 seconds left here. Not a single tick has gone for the side of Sydney Dingoes here, but this is Black Ops 6 control, and this is where we see ticks come down here. That number is red in the top, so we'll start to see these ticks roll in here. But at the side of Minnesota Floppr have anything to say, they're gonna get this shut down here. Last of these players spawning towards Spiral here, so we'll see if they can get to A, see if they can make anything this round.
This nasty guy is nasty, as the kids would say. Absolutely snapping on players with this AR in his hand. He's taking grenades to the face, and he's finally going to get taken out. That is going to allow City to secure their first tick. Second tick on the way as well. Fiend's looking to get aggressive towards this top side. He's able to pick that player off, and he's able to play some good timing. Almost gets the three. Noisities with a big win, though, there to make sure that the presence still gets felt. Tick is going to come through on B. Cookie is here alone initially, but reinforcements are coming through. Now the City Dingoes are capping both these points. The A point is going to get capped by Speedy here. Still presence on the B side as well. The second tick is about to come through. Noisities is able to win a big 1v1 there on the hill time, but there's still pressure up here on the map from the side of Sydney Dingoes. 5-5 here on lives as well, so very close here. Sydney Dingoes are going to go down to no respawns remaining with 3v5 left here with pretty much one last chance piece to get this B site.
Yeah, they never did get that second tick, so it's going to be 4 ticks so far for the side of Sydney. I highly doubt we see any more ticks coming down here with 3 lives. They're just looking for players to overextend here. Speedy's going to take a child towards office, is going to fall there. They are going to pick up Fiend towards that top ladder as well. So James going to be last player alive here. Fight towards office is able to pick up 2. It is a 1v3. He's got 20 seconds to work with here. Players are starting to quickly surround him here. He's able to pick up at least info on that player towards outside garden, but unfortunately going to fall. So from the side of Sydney, I mean, you're able to pick up 4 ticks, and you didn't start ticking until 3.6 seconds left. So, I mean, it's got to be a little bit of a success from your side. You probably wanted to have a little bit better of a round there after kind of how we saw that going through. But, you know, Minnesota able to compose there and not allow all those ticks to come through. Big stop from the side of Minnesota to not let that second tick come through on the side of B either. So 4 ticks for the side of City Dingoes here as they are able to take that L on that round, but they're on defense here.
Yeah, nice contest coming down from the side of the Minnesota Floppr, able to slide in there towards the inner portion of that B and not getting immediately chowed, allowed his teammates to kind of gather around him and clear off that B site. So that was big. You know, when you only have 1 tick left, when you're the attacking team, you can kind of play pretty patient, just kind of wait for your scenario to kind of pop where you get that 3 or 4 dead scenario, and then you can just kind of push from there and get stacking the point and go. But Sydney Dingoes off to a hot start here so far. They're looking for this last player. Garden side going to take him out as well. Cookie's looking to get active in the spawn, able to get 2 there. Going to get traded out by Nasty. But from the side of Floppr, you don't have a whole lot of map presence here pushed up. There's still another player fighting towards your spawn as well. And you're just going to kind of have to fight out to get through here. They got their kind of spread all around, but Soda gets a nice kill there. Noisities gets one as well for himself. Speedy's left up here in window. looking for these players. He's gonna get the info on the outer players, gonna get one. Shots in a second, gonna get that second player taken out, but gonna get traded out by Soda from top window. So Floppr with some potential here to get out of their spawn, get some map presence, and potentially make their play happen. But with only 25 seconds left here on the clock, you're gonna have to make this play happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, and this next wave of kills is going to make or break the game for either team, or at least this round. Fiend able to pick up one from the side of Sydney Dingoes is going to fall, with Soda getting kind of lost there on office side. Ticks are coming down from the side of Minnesota on B right now. We do see trades coming in. Cookie going to be kind of this last player up towards this plat side. Going to hop on time to kind of stop the second tick of progression here, as it is a 1v1 on site with the side of Sydney Dingoes, bringing some reinforcements in. James going to fall here. Fiend taking a flank there, able to pick up some good damage on those players. Second tick is about to roll through for the side of Minnesota. Sydney's still ahead here. Players are going to die off that spawn, but we do see A getting capped here, as Soda's going to get a little aggressive towards that plat. Gonna fall, so it could be pretty dire for the side of Minnesota there. They got 10 seconds here. This last wave is pretty much all they're going to have here. Fiend was the last player to kind of prevent that top window side from collapsing, so we kind of see some players here pushing out towards this fountain side, towards well side, but so far Sydney Dingoes look like they're going to secure this round.
Yeah, you say that, but now there's two players from the Flopper
Just
on the
kidding.
B site choosing to stack here. Speedy is going to get taken out. There is a teammate that comes down, but the B point is going to get captured with, once again, under 3 seconds left on the clock. The chaos that is control in this game has been absolute insanity this year. Soda's looking to get active in logs, only going to get one before he gets traded out. And now with Flopper here, you've got 45 seconds. It's not a pure S&D round where you can just play out these kills. You're probably going to have to stop this clock as well. But the good news is you still have some map presence and some pressure put up here. There's going to be 2 kills down from that side. Noiseties is going to hop onto the A point. He is going to get taken out, but they're going to have some info that that player is top their side. So this is going to allow the Flopper players to potentially take a route here, maybe find some space. And really, with the clock starting to tick down now, you got to start getting some more kills and potentially stop this clock.
Yeah, and James is going to get that info on that player top. Cookies knowing that nobody is coming through that rock side. Going to get some unfortunate timing there. And why just stop the clock when you can capture all the ticks here? That's going to be 3 dead from the side of Sydney Dingoes here. Left in a 2v4. Fiend not able to pick up the kill. It's a 1v4. Minnesota Floppr looking to win the round. And I might as well just shut up when it comes down to the last 5 seconds of a round.
Yeah, I mean, the chaos that happens in Control has been insane this year. I mean, you look and there's potentially one route for a player from the Flopper to make there through the flat side. There's no City Dingo players that are covering it, so it allows him to hop over the top, shoot the player in the back, and then his other teammates fighting from the front side of Garden, they're just able to kind of stack together. And with only one tick left, to secure that B point, it's not too difficult, but I think from the Flopper side, I think you were down in lives too, a little bit, 10-7 there, if I'm not mistaken, when that capture came
Yep.
through. So then they were able to just kind of play around the extra time that they got there and look for some of those, Sydney Dingo players to potentially slip up first here. So Sydney is going to need a big bounce back round here on the offensive side. They're kind of just trying to control this top side through the top halls, open and close side, looking to potentially find out some of these players, but nobody's really stopped the clock as of yet. So we're looking potentially for maybe that first, couple dead scenario where we're able to get some real map presence set up here before we're going to see either one of these points start to get captured.
Yeah, and Sydney Dingoes are just being kind of passive here, just making sure they get kills. Speedy, fiending for that kill there as he's about to blast his own teammate there. Cookie gonna try to steal his kill there. Progress is coming down on A. We did see 3 players there for a second. Nasty and Jayski are going to be the ones that kind of prevent that push coming in. That's going to be 4 dead from the side of City Dingoes. But the side of Minnesota Floppr, there's nobody pushed up garden, so those players are going to get a close well spawn. They're going to be able to get towards that B site kind of for free. We do see that clock being stopped here from the side of James, looking to take a chow towards that U. Able to pick up that kill. So number 7 here in Noise City is going to be kind of last alive towards this garden. Can he get some good timing? Unlucky is not going to here. So we do see with about 30 seconds left some ticks going towards the side of Sydney there. It's going to be the first one. Soda on this flank, able to pick up 1, 2, make that 3 for the side of Soda here, and City Dingoes have one last player towards this garden side here with about 20 seconds left.
Soda loves the flanks, and I love drinking soda myself, so I think we're both just one and the same. me and him, but Sydney still kind of putting this pressure towards the B site, gunshots and gunfire going down everywhere. There's going to be one Floppr player that's left close here on the backside. He's going to be able to get one, not going to get the second kill though. That's going to allow Cookie to kind of push up here and get off the point just a little bit. Contest is going to come down, and with 10 seconds left here, I don't think there's any way that the Sydney Dingoes are going to be able to fight through this B point now, but you never know what's going to happen here. That's going to be 3 dead, 4 dead from the side of the Sydney Dingoes. Floppr are going to win the Hacienda control in a pretty, easy fashion, 3-0. I think that offensive round, especially when you go up, is pretty huge a lot of times. Being able to take that offensive round, especially scenarios that are kind of in play there. So it's very, very back and forth. But if either one of these teams are able to kind of get that string going where they get a solid chunk of time on P2, they get a nice chunk of time on P3, and then they lock down that Rock Hill on P4, you can see some score lines just absolutely zoom up just because of how quickly that lead can kind of grow or disappear if you're the winning team losing some of those gunfights. But Floppr starting off ready for this map number 4. 4 dead scenario, they're going to be here into P1 first.
100% everything you just said. So, side of Minnesota, like you said, starting off definitely a lot hotter here on this P1. I do see some kills coming down here. We're looking for kind of an early rotation here from the side of Sydney. Going to be getting some mixed spawns out here towards well. Fiend recognizes that, so he's just going to play towards new, see if we have any early rotators that he can pick up here. Pulling a Wolfie there, not finishing your kill, but he doesn't pull a Wolfie, and he does eventually get the kill. I never do that. So Fiend eventually is going to fall back there. He's going to lose those spawn or lose that side of the map for the side of Sydney Dingoes, but they probably expected that when they started spawning well with like 15 seconds left. So side of Minnesota Floppr, so far so good here. A lot of time on P1, looking like a lot of time on P2.
Yeah, I mean, big two-piece there from J-Ski. Gunfights coming down towards the front of the hill as well. Floppr doing extremely well with that teamwork here so far, playing their trades and winning some big gunfights. But the Dingoes are going to be able to break in initially, but J-Ski on the flank able to get 2. He's looking for more. He's going to get traded out by Fiend. That's going to allow Sydney to be here in the time. There's not going to be any players super close except for one in the back driveway going to take out a player in the hill. Gonna get 2. That's nasty on the flank, looking for more. Able to get some shots into the player's side door. And, side of Floppr is gonna be able to get a good chunk of this scrap time until Speedy flies in with a 2-piece and breaks it. So big break from the side of the Dingoes there. Unfortunately, just not a whole lot of time left. So you're gonna eat up a little bit of this disadvantage, but ultimately this P3 is gonna be huge. Cookie's here initially on the hill. He's gonna jump up towards Plat, but Soda 2-piece back and forth of his zone, and we're gonna see a lot of that here on this map, I think, from the side of Soda, J-Ski, Speedy, and Fiend, just all kind of going back and forth, playing some big roles for both their teams.
Yeah, I mean, so far Soda's getting the cutoffs he needs towards 10. They are going to get those spawns flipped as well. So the side of Sydney Dingo is going to have to fight through that well side, make something work here on this P3. They are down by about 40 right now, and this is where the game can definitely get out of hand. If you don't get much time towards this P3, and if you lose the P4, it might just be GG's for you. So we'll kind of see here. They are able to get into P3, make it a little bit mixy. It's going to come down to these last couple gunfights here. Fiend going to stand right in the middle of the doorway. Unfortunately, going to fall. J-Ski able to pick up a big 2-piece there to secure probably the rest of this time here. Sydney are full rotating towards P4. They know how important this needs to be. They're down probably by about 50 by the time this hill pops, but unfortunately are going to lose all 3, make that 4 gunfights towards new. Minnesota Floppr looking so flawless so far.
The teamwork is just immaculate here. They're hitting things together. Their positioning is great. They're watching the angles. They're getting aggressive where they need to. And Floppr is feeling themselves right now. They're 2 AR players, both hitting the double-digit mark already through this first rotation of hills. Solid hill time spread across the board. Sydney really needs to kind of find that similar method of teamwork, and Fiend is going to be here on the flank, able to get 1. Shots into the second, able to get 3 there. Big break by the side of the Dingoes via Fiend. There's going to be 1 player left here on time. That's Soda. They're looking to potentially pick this player off. Speedy is going to be able to get that kill. Shots coming down from mid, so they're going to know that these players are there, just shooting, kind of waiting for some players to chow, waiting for the shot to come through. Speedy able to get 1, able to clean up the second one, but going to get taken out by Nasty. That's going to allow the Floppr to secure the rest of the scrap time. and move themselves over back to P1 again, looking to do potentially just the same thing that they did the first rotation. And I mean, that's going to be key for them here. If they keep the pressure, they keep flowing like they have been throughout this map so far, they're looking to push their advantage even higher here in the map number 4.
It doesn't look like Minnesota can really do anything wrong. If you're the side of Sydney Dingoes, I don't even know what you're supposed to do. Every time you take one gunfight, maybe two gunfights, you feel like you have the free hill. There's always another player or two just around the corner ready to take those trades. So the teamwork, like you said, is immaculate from the side of Minnesota Floppr so far. Able to take a pretty hefty advantage here by 80 points into this P1 here, and just continuing to grow that as they get P1 spawns, and they're already rotated towards this P2 side. So, I mean, the side of Sydney Dingoes, you're going to have some players start to really pop off here and really get some kills and make some big 2 and 3 pieces here, because that's what it's going to take. When Minnesota's all grouped up together like that, you're going to have to pop those big 2 and 3 pieces to make any sort of impact towards this.
Yeah, and it's not easy to do every single gunfight when you're here in the Platinum division. You've got these players that are shooting so straight. They're popping streaks all the time. Nasty is on another 3 spree as well. Jayski hitting the flank again, able to get one, looking for the second player, is gonna whip around as well. I mean, the Floppr, they're feeling this. I mean, they want this series here. They want to end it right now, and they're not letting their foot off the gas at all. We're gonna see Sydney Dingoes kind of trying to fight through this lobby side. We're gonna get some shots onto this player in the back. Gunfight coming down spiral. Gonna get taken out. Cookie is, and that's gonna be 4 dead again. That's gonna allow Floppr to start pushing out towards this new hill. Sydney may get this old scrap time, but there are still 2 players left here from the side of the Floppr. There's gonna be a 1v2 left on a hill now, and that's gonna be Fiend that ends up getting that scrap time. But if you're the side of Sydney Dingo, scrap time's great because Flopper's not getting it, but you need a big hill on this P3 or P4 here, and P3 can be a good start to that, and especially if you're able to get a good chunk of time and rotate early like the Floppr did last time, you could be looking at a different scoreboard here. But there's players all around you from the Flopper side. Cookie is going to get spotted out, going to get taken out. There's going to be James left here on time looking to contest, but Jayski's going to pick him up. Speedy's going to be the last player left here, close. Able to get 1 kill, looking for more. Going to get taken out by Soda. Good trades there from the side of Floppr, and they're looking to hold this and keep the Sydney Dingoes spawning towards that garden side so they can keep their guns facing the front.
I'm glad Cookie got that kill. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But Minnesota Floppr, I mean, they probably saw Giants in chat out there talking about winner of this taking second place. I mean, this is showing that, Giants and his team of insert words that I probably won't say on stream here do not look like they're any match for this team so far. They look like they are firing on all cylinders. They cannot make a single mistake so far. They are doing everything right in this hard point, not making any mistakes, picking up kills when they need to, picking up trades. James with a big 2-piece there, another fight up towards middle. But there's 1 fight left on hill here. They are able to secure some time here, and this is Sydney Dingoes. I mean, you have to play perfect from here on out. You have 28 points until the loss. You got to pick up, 170 points. I mean, you're going to have to play perfect. This P4 is going to get pretty much mixy real quick here as we see some players coming down. It's not impossible. We have seen this route between, P1, 2, 3. You're able to pick up those points, but it is going to be tough from the side of Sydney.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anything that can kind of come through, I mean, the Paris, the Paris Legion did it in MW2 against, what was it, the Boston Breach on that
Thieves.
Thieves on Fortress.
Yeah, it was on Hotel. No, Hotel.
Hotel. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. That was
we were there. We were there. We saw that in person.
I was too busy yelling at Optic fans. I don't know what to say.
Shout out Optic fans. If you know, you know. But yeah, Minnesota Floppr, I mean, they're on time here, able to pick up some kills kind of around the time here. Sydney Dingoes just really pressuring to get towards time. Noise Cities and Soto and everybody on the side of Minnesota Floppr just chowing whatever they want. They really don't care. 6 points here towards the win for the side of Minnesota Floppr. Sydney are just kind of holding on to whatever hope they can find here. Fiend able to pick up 1 kill towards time, make that 2. Time still on the side of Sydney Dingoes here, but the perfect Call of Duty I talked about before has to be perfect. Out of perfect squared Call of Duty, you pretty much can't let up any second tiers. The rotation towards P2 is set for the side of Minnesota Floppr. If you're the side of Sydney Dingoes here, I don't even know if you can get there in 6 seconds as we see some players rushing towards this lobby here. Is going to be kind of the last push. We have James able to pick up one of himself, not able to pick up another, but we do see a contest coming down here. So this could get mixy. Sydney Dingoes could continue to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're technically squaring a number, it gets bigger, so wouldn't that be a higher percentage to win? I don't know. I'm not good at math. 1v1 left here on time, Soda's gonna win that. That's gonna allow the Flopper to take this Hossy map number 4 and take the series in a 3-1 fashion, just pretty much cruising, through these respawns. The map number 1 was super close from their perspective. They had to fight back there a little bit in the last rotation, but they had the lead towards the end, the last 2 hills, and able to close it out there. And then on Hossy, I mean, if you're watching this, whoever's next, you said Giants.